Inter 7, Barcelona 6. Sounds like an American football scoreline, but that's what actually happened in this UEFA Champions League semifinal tie. Easily the best semifinal ever played in the Champions League. But before we get into every detail of the match, make sure you guys subscribe, like, check out all the platform links down below. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, and let's talk about that Inter versus Barcelona semifinal matchup. Absolutely just insane scenes, never before seen scoreline. Honest, in my opinion, this is just one of the best Champions League matches, Champions League ties that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Going into the game, it was 3-3 after what happened at the Montjuic just last week. So you know that in this game we were guaranteed goals, and that was a fact. The game did not disappoint, picked up almost exactly where it left off. For Barcelona to defeat Inter Milan at the San Siro was going to be almost an impossible feat to ask for Barcelona, for the players, because Inter have not lost at their stadium in years in the Champions League. Barcelona came out struggling that whole first half. I'm not even going to lie. That was a horrible first half from Barcelona. But also at the same time, Inter Milan were just on the top of their game, not letting Barcelona breathe, play out the back comfortably. It was Dani Olmo losing the ball in the midfield, and then Dumfries scoring the ball straight across into an empty net for Lautaro Martinez to just tap in, giving Inter Milan the lead. And then later on in that same first half, it's Cubarsí who takes down the captain, Lautaro Martinez. It looks like it's a clean challenge from the young 18-year-old, but they go to VAR. It's a penalty, and cool, calm, collected Çalhanoğlu, of course, he's going to bury that. He does not miss from the penalty spot. This season alone, he's 7 for 8 penalties, one of the best PK takers in the world. Inter had played an almost perfect first half, if not a perfect first half, because Barcelona had no ideas to break through that Inter defense. But it wasn't until halftime. I'm not sure what Hansi Flick said to the guys in the dressing room, but Barcelona came out swinging, came out punching, and it was an exact same replica of what happened in the first leg. An immediate response from all players, even the most unlikely ones. Gerard Martin and Eric Garcia, both players who were heavily criticized to be starting this match. And even at halftime, if you guys were on Twitter, a lot of people talking shit about Gerard Martin, but out of nowhere, he pulls out 2 amazing assists straight out of his ass. The first one, a ball into Eric Garcia, who is running at full speed into the box. A beautiful volley at that to spark the comeback. And then the second one, it's a peach of a ball from Gerardo Martin onto the head of Dani Olmo, who buries it past Jan Sommer. At that point, you're thinking, oh no, Barcelona are going to do it again, another remontada. And that's exactly what happened. As the time went on, it's Rafinha, towards literally the last few minutes of the game, the Ballon d'Oro contender, the number 1 contender for that Ballon d'Oro. Rafinha hits it with his left foot. Jan Sommer with a great save, but it falls right back to Rafinha's right foot, who just puts it into the back of the net. It's 3-2. There's just a few minutes left on the clock. Barcelona just need to hold on. Barcelona cannot hold on to the lead at that moment. It's the 37-year-old going as striker, Acerbi, who literally in the final minute of the game puts one past Szczesny. Looks like a striker's finish the way he puts it into the back of the net, just sending the San Siro into a frenzy. Completely unexpected. He ties the game 3-3, sending it into extra time. In the moment where no one expected, you think this was Barca's game to go through into the final, but it's the 37-year-old, the one to take Inter Milan. And in extra time, across tired legs, I mean, anything can happen, right? And Barcelona tried their absolute best, but Jan Sommer was making crazy saves, was easily the man of the match. I mean, the performances that he put on in both legs, 14 saves in this whole tie, was just, I mean, it's what you need when you want to be a Champions League contender. It's what you need if you want to win a trophy. You need the goalkeeper to step up in the moments when the defense, the midfielders cannot do it. And in the first half of extra time, of course, it's Fratesi, their 4th lead in this tie, sending San Siro crazy. Everybody's going nuts. But I think the work that both Taremi and Thuram put in for that goal alone, but just in general throughout this whole match, was completely underrated. I mean, you're looking at these guys, you think they're absolute freaks, the way how huge they are. First off, over 6 foot, probably each of them. But then the skill that they have on the ball to hold the ball hold off their defender as well. And then Fratesi, cool, calm, collected inside of the box, picks his corner, and Chesney can't do anything at that point. Barcelona tried. They tried. They got the ball. They pinned Inter back as far as they could into their own box. Pretty much, it was like watching two lines of fives. There was no striker. Thuram and Taremi were just defending with all their life as well. And Inter Milan get the job done. Get the job done at the San Siro. It was almost impossible for Barcelona to defeat Inter Milan at the San Siro. The work from Simone Inzaghi is just spectacular. What he's done to this Inter team, competing on all fronts, unfortunately eliminated in the Coppa Italia to AC Milan, but to still be competing in the Champions League, to still be competing in the league as well, because it's not over. It's still a fight, even though Napoli are ahead. And of course, in the Champions League, to have them constantly in the finals, constantly fighting for this trophy. Unfortunately, a couple years ago when they faced Man City were the better team in this occasion. But Barcelona in this edition of the Champions League were no doubt the best team in the Champions League, but Inter Milan just had to let go their way this time. And I think they are the clear favorites along with PSG, but Inter are just they're both different. And obviously when it comes to finals right now, they just came back from one about 2 years ago. I think they have a slight edge, especially after this match. But yeah, the work from Simone Inzaghi, from the whole Inzaghi family, though, even the brother getting promoting Pisa to the first division, said, yeah, I don't know what runs in those genes, but coaching is definitely something that runs in those genes. Inter Milan's second UEFA Champions League final in 3 years. Can this one be the one for Simone Inzaghi, for Inter Milan, to finally bring the Champions League back to Milan? It's been at least over 10 years since Inter Milan have held La Orejona. Will they finally be able to do it? It will be coming up either against PSG or Arsenal. It's not going to be an easy match, but I don't know. Inter Milan look like favorites to me. Let me know what you guys think. Is this the best Champions League? First off, this whole format in general was just, you get spectacular matches. But this semifinal alone, was this the best Champions League semifinal that you guys have ever watched? And are Inter Milan now favorites after having knocked out Barcelona in the semifinal? I will see you guys on the next one. For more Champions League content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, check out all the platform links down below. Make sure to come by tomorrow for the recap after the PSG versus Arsenal match. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.